Hello everyone, and welcome to this React News webinar, Beyond Bricks and Mortar, where we'll be looking at how real estate can enhance wellbeing in partnership with Therme Group. I'm Jessica Middleton-Pugh, residential and retail correspondent at React, and I'm chairing the discussion today. So why is this important? Well, the average person spends around 90% of their time indoors, so in a building. And as we increasingly think more about our physical and mental health post-pandemic, how those buildings impact our lives is clearly very important. And we have a great panel of people today with us at the forefront of thinking about well-being in the built environment to really unpick this issue. So please let me welcome Adrian Ion, CFO of Therme Group, a leading innovator in the wellbeing sector, designing, constructing and operating the world's most technologically advanced and sustainable wellbeing facilities, which we'll be hearing more on later. And Professor Sadie Morgan, founding director of Sterling Prize-winning practice DRMM, and of particular interest to the discussion today, chair of the Quality of Life Foundation. We have Jamie Bunce, CEO of Legal & General's retirement living division, Inspired Villages, one of the fastest growing later living operators in the UK, and Dr. Daniel Fujiwara, who is CEO of Symmetrica Jacobs and visiting fellow at the London School of Economics and Political Science. He is an economist specialising in wellbeing measurement and social value analysis. So I think one of the cleverest panels I've probably ever had pleasure to chair.
A word, it's actually a way, a movement. And our operations are underpinned by the engineering, the technology that our group has generated and enhanced over many years of experience to create an environment that allows people to interact with nature, with water in a way that it's very difficult to do in the setting of a city. We find ourselves at the edge between real estate and infrastructure, and social infrastructure in particular. I think social infrastructure has been the domain of sort of government and public bodies for a very long time, especially in the UK. But it's something that we feel that the private sector has a lot of value to add.
A sense of belonging, I think, is incredibly, again, something that's really important. And that covers diversity, it covers community, it covers neighborliness, nature, access to nature. I can see Adrian there with beautiful greenery in his background. We all need it, and we all need to be able to get to it, whether it be in our local environment or whether or not we can just open. We're lucky enough to have balconies or roof terraces. All of those things really matter, but public space, public amenity, I think, again, if the last year's taught us anything, the importance of our green space is really, overriding. And then health and wellbeing has been central to the, kind of, what I've believed in and what I've been trying to do for a very long time. And I think that if you've always believed that that's important, it's something that's inherent in what you build. It's not difficult to add these things into into the way that you design and deliver buildings. But as you rightly point out, it hasn't been happening enough.
What we really try and understand is, of all of this kind of public and private expenditure, what are the impacts on people's well-being, and actually how do we then value that? So a core part of our work is going an additional step to incorporate this stuff into a business case, and a business case needs to understand whether the benefits outweigh the costs. Since the costs are always in financial terms, right? £200 million development, £50 million spent on smart motorways, that type of thing. What we try and do is relate the benefits back into a financial term as well.
So everything we do has to centre back to the mental, the physical, the social and the financial well-being of people living with us, their wider family, our staff, our colleagues and their family. And if we can always centre back to those elements, then we can deliver more than bricks and mortar to people. We can deliver great outcomes. The reality is people living in retirement communities can spend 2 days in comparison to 2 weeks if they live in their own home at hospital. 46% reduction in planned hospital visitation. The socioeconomic benefit that we create to the areas that we deliver to a wider sort of sector of the market is enormous. There is quoted at £3,500 per person per annum saved to the NHS from people living in communities like ours. And we're seeing more and more investment coming into our sector as well as other sectors that are really wanting to focus on well-being. Definitely, there's a big push on the green agenda, on ESG, but in that, people are talking about EHSG, which is the health part of it. So you're going to see more investors now looking to say, what are we doing at our communities, at all real estate, in order to create better outcomes for people who are living there.
As more and more people move into the cities, there is an unprecedented demand for this city life and for people to find their different things to do and to interact with nature, even though they are inside the city. Now, COVID, I think, as someone put it, actually very interestingly, has probably slowed down urbanization, but it's also given it a chance to actually change. And we believe that actually that urbanization will continue and it will increase at pace around the world. And therefore, residents in cities around the world will not just look at places to live and places to work and places to shop, but also places to spend time with family, spend time with friends, spend time with colleagues, unwind, relax, or actually exercise and do things which are good for their health and well-being.